Let's talk about how you set up Claude in the best way possible. If you want to get one of those large language models, your own artificial intelligence, and you're kind of racking your brain a little bit trying to figure out how to do it. I'm going to walk you through a safe way to do it and give you some experiences. I teach real estate agents. I taught police back in the day to do various things, and the internet and technology have really created a little bit of a bridge. So what we'll do is we will go to actual Google. Let me go ahead and shrink this down, or whatever search engine you want. But let me explain something here that might be important. You want to make sure that when you're trying to find Claude, you are going to the correct website. Now, it is Claude.ai, C-L-A-L-L-A, if I can spell it, C-L-A-U-D-E.ai. So that's where you would go if you want to get the browser version of it to be able to use it. Because there are different versions. There's the one for the browser. There's the one you can download on your computer. Both of those, I believe, are paid for, at least the computer portion. So using it in your browser, you're going to get some free stuff. We'll set up a brand new free account together so we can walk through it. But it's Claude.ai. And you would punch that in here on the top. Some people are using their search engines by doing it here. So if you do search for it here in the search bar, you just want to make sure you're finding the right place. So this one, Claude.ai, that's correct. This one's also correct, Claude.ai. Anthropic, that's the owner of Claude, but you'll see some things that start to look a little bit different. You have Claude.com. Maybe that's the same. Maybe it's owned by Anthropic, but then you go a little further, you're going to see other things that are going to really kind of take you away from where you're trying to be, and that's Claude.ai. If you click here, they're going to get charged for this. If you go here, you can just go there, or you can just punch Claude.ai right here. So once you get on here, there's a couple different things you can do. Now, if you already have a Gmail address and you don't mind, and I don't really see the danger in anything, you can connect with Google, then it will connect through your email address. Here is another way to connect through email. So I'm going to use another email address, connorwithhonor@gmail.com. So we'll use this one. And what you do is it's going to send me a verification email before I can log in or get an account. And what I'll do is I will go look at my email. So you go ahead and stand by here. And just like your email, it would show up. And then it's going to say something like, let's get you signed in. And it has a Claude indicator on it. Let's get you signed in, sign into Claude AI, and then you're going to click that particular link. So we'll come back here. I'll act like I'm clicking on the link, and it's going to take me here. And then this is where it's going to make that introduction to me to create an account. Now, of course, you're going to agree with their terms of service. And just to give you an idea, this is their terms of service. This is when I did a meeting the other day talking to people in our generation. We still kind of are under the idea that there's privacy. I think we probably gave that away, whether it was an agreement like this or something when you got your iPhone or something when you purchased your last smart TV, because these agreements are completely deep, many, many pages, and they're full of all sorts of information. So if you're agreeing with it, go through it, of course, if you want to read it. And there's all sorts of, we have acceptable use policies too. It's going to talk about what you should do or shouldn't do with the system. If you start using this to try to hurt other people, it's going to be a problem, and they'll probably figure it out rather quickly, and who knows what's going to happen. So let's say we agree to all of this, then I'm going to go ahead and create an account. So I'm going to click here. Now, if you didn't want to use that email, you can also come down here and use a different email. So now we're going to create the account. Now here's your choice. Your free plan, and if you look here, it's probably not purposely being misleading, but most of these systems, when you're signing up for stuff online, it's going to give you this the better price. And the better price is because they're billing you here annually. So $200 a year if you want to get what normally would be $20 a month. But the default, as it loads in, it's going to show you that yearly price if you pay a year up front. Same thing here. This one actually, the max plan, there is no better benefit for paying for a year up front, which apparently not very many people do. For this one, if you can squeeze it, sure, go ahead. But let's go ahead and start on that free plan, and you can kind of get an idea of what the differences are. You're going to get more usage, of course, for the $20 a month. But as you're learning this, as you're figuring it out, and I'll do a video covering how to get into ChatGPT, the free one's really good. They're pretty good about how much compute they give you, how many tokens they give you. Tokens is basically like quarters in a video game. You get so much playtime with it. You can do so much research, so much work, so much design, so much questioning, so much relationship, whatever it is you're doing. So we'll click on Get Claude for free. And then here, it's going to give you some more instructions. Now, a couple things. You can download this onto your hard drive. And when you do that, it's going to look very similar to mine, which is going to be over here. Actually, I created a script for this. I'm not very good at going by the script, but this is somewhat what it looks like. You can do that, or you could skip this part and just use it in your browser. My recommendation for the first few times I would skip it, just use your browser. Here it's going to come up. This one here, it talks about ad-free chats. We're not going to show you ads or let advertisers influence what Claude says. That's kind of their line in the sand, because some other open models, public-facing closed-source models like ChatGPT, for example, if you don't pay for an account, there's going to be some ads floating in there. And there's been some talk on the street that some of those advertisers are able to make those results lean a little bit more in their favor. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Jury will probably be out for a while. But at least here, Claude is being as upfront as possible. It uses a constitutional AI. I would look that up if you're interested what that means. That's a whole rabbit hole in the way that it was trained in of itself. And then here, built to help, not harm. Automated safeguards protect your chats from violent, abuse, or deceptive content. Great. And then here's the little switch that allows your information to be shared with them in order to improve the model. So people click this off thinking that if they click it off, then there's not going to be any of their information that's going to be seen by anybody. Not that we're trying to hide anything, but that's incorrect. Whenever you're typing information into a large language model that is not yours in your own computer, installed on your own hard drive, and to do that, you need a pretty fancy machine that has a lot of bandwidth, a lot of memory, a lot of video RAM, or VRAM as they call it. And these are things like NVIDIA makes one called DGX Spark. AMD has their own little AI computer as well. These are $5,000 devices, $5,700 devices, and then you can move into a Mac Studio. That's going to run you $5,000+. So those systems can run their own AI. For most of you watching, it's probably going to be something that belongs to somebody else. OpenAI has ChatGPT. Anthropic has Claude. That's what we're on right now. Microsoft has one called Copilot. That's theirs. Grok has XAI has Grok, which is theirs. Meta or Facebook, they also have an AI system. So, there's a lot of choices. The ones that are running right at the top as of, where are we today? The 22nd of August 22nd, 2026. That's going to be Anthropic's Claude and OpenAI's ChatGPT. So if you click this off, it's not like some of these people aren't going to see your information. Plus, your information is here. So be wary with that. Understand that. So we'll run on. Let's shut it off. It'll be fun. It'll be the same thing for us. So now we're going to introduce ourselves. So I'm going to put Connor. I'm not capitalizing. You can capitalize. This is my role. What am I today? I'm not a founder. You want to do educator? I think I'm an educator. So what it'll do, it's going to ask you some choices about you, and you can go back and see all of these different ones. Product management, software engineering, human resources, finance, marketing, design, scientist, legal, student, founder, writer, educator. Lots of stuff here, right? Healthcare, other's a good one. And then when you choose one of these, it's going to give you some different things. Maybe you're a writer, you want to get your drafts polished. Maybe you're a scientist that wants to talk about some experiments. Maybe you work in operations and you want to draft an SOP or draft a vendor RFP or plan a rollout. Data science, explore data sets, eval. So you see, there's a lot of stuff here, and the system kind of is built around providing the best for these. We'll go ahead and go consultant. I don't know, we can prep for a client meeting. I think I like educator. Yeah, it's like I can't even decide. We'll do this. We'll explain a concept simply. Now, it's then going to fill with this information, and it's going to do this automatically. Maybe this isn't even something you wanted. Maybe you clicked other and you really don't want the system to start out with its own prompt and start that system. But this is the beginning of your experience with artificial intelligence. These models are getting sharper and smarter by the day. Some of these models have some abilities that are so what they say dangerous that they're not allowing the public use of them. They're allowing top corporations to use them, but apparently not us. But that's a whole nother story. But this is where you would start, and very simply, you can either go down this rabbit hole. This is where you would type in what you would want. Hello, can you tell me the best way to use you? And then you type that in, and then you see what it says. And what's nice about this is you can ask it how to work best with it, and it'll give you the rundown. Happy to help. A few tips for getting the most out of me. Be specific about content, the more detail. Iterate rather than restart. Use me for the whole workflow, not just one shot. It'll go into it. And then maybe here, would you like, can you help me teach you about how I like to do things? This is a good inquiry as well, because if you're going to be creating content, if you're going to be doing something that has to do with your name and you want to slap your personality onto it, I think that's important. Now, because of what we selected in the beginning, it's going to be talking about education. Let's say you select it and you want to go back and you really don't want to be an educator, because right now it would seem that it's kind of bending everything around education. You can tell it, listen, made a mistake in the beginning. I'm not an educator. In fact, instead of selecting this, we'll just do this. I'm not an educator. I am a rocket scientist. I think I probably spelled it wrong. But anyway, so I'm a rocket scientist. So now it's going to change, and it's going to assume the role of, me being a rocket scientist. So then it's going to talk about technical engineering topics. But that's really it. There's so much to do. There's so many other things, but this is kind of how you sign up and get started. You can ask it, what does this projects thing mean? What do these artifacts do? What is this code thing that I see on the left? What does customize mean? And just punch it in, and it'll walk you down the path. And listen, if it's talking too technical, then you ask it to dumb it down. Talk to you like you're a 7th or 8th grader. And I'm not trying to be offensive. I have it explain stuff to me as if I'm a 7th or 8th grader. And you know what? That light bulb comes on a lot faster than normal. So that's a good way to start with this. I'm Connor with Honor. If you want to know more, you can go to Santa Clarita artificialintelligence.com. And hopefully this helped you get in, and hopefully it'll be amazing. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.